Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Friends, today is the third day of our retreat. Tonight, for this Dhamma talk, our topic is how Ānāpānasati leads to destruction of fetters. Ānāpānasati. What is Ānāpānasati? Ana means breathing in, apana means breathing out, sati means mindfulness. So ānāpānasati means mindfulness of breath, mindfulness of breathing. So how mindfulness of breathing leads to the destruction of fetters is the topic. There are two parts of the topic, Ānāpānasati and fetters. Let's understand what Ānāpānasati is first. Ānāpānasati is the meditation that all Buddhas practiced for the attainment of enlightenment. So why not you? Why not me? We all can practice Ānāpānasati. The Buddha recommended this meditation for all of us. Ānāpānasati, when practiced, Buddha said, is the way for the attainment of enlightenment. That is why all Buddhas in the past, they practiced this, developed this, cultivated this, and appreciated it very much. Once, Buddha said, monks, the contemplatives, the ascetics from other sect, other religions, they might ask you, what is the purpose of practicing? What is the purpose of practicing this Dhamma in this dispensation? Then tell them, the purpose of practicing is abandoning of fetters, destroying fetters. That is the purpose. Then they might ask, is there a method, is there a path? Then say yes. Then again they will ask, what is the path? Tell them, it is the Noble Eightfold Path. You see, Noble Eightfold Path is the path that the Buddha taught us. No other path. So, to come to the Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path, first of all, we have to have sila, morality, the way, the 3 steps, there are 3 steps, sila, samadhi and panya. That is how the path is laid down, designed. Sila, samadhi, panya. Sila is morality, samadhi is concentration, panya is wisdom. So to practice, we need to observe sila, understand sila, being purified, being on such a virtuous ground, then we have to practice sati, mindfulness. Sati, mindfulness. That is why we want to practice Ānāpānasati. When practice Ānāpānasati, we are on the path. Ānāpānasati, as I said earlier, the Buddha has emphasized to practice anapanasati in many different discourses, such as Satipatthana Sutta, the discourse on the four foundations of mindfulness. Then Anapanasati Sutta, the discourse on mindfulness of breathing, Anapanasati Sutta. Then Maharahulawada Sutta, the discourse to Venerable Rahula. Ananda Sutta, Kimbila Sutta. There is a particular chapter, one particular chapter on Anapanasati, on mindfulness of breathing in the connected discourses. So Buddha has explained the significance of practicing Anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, in the such way. So when practice Anapanasati, Buddha said, there is a way to practice. In the Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha gave only 4 steps. But in other discourses like Anapanasati Sutta, Maharahuvada Sutta, Ananda Sutta, Kimbila Sutta, in all these, Buddha has given us 16 steps. We are going to talk about these 16 steps tonight. A little later I am going to explain this. So, one day, Venerable Ananda went to the Buddha and said, Bhante, is there one thing when practice develops, it fulfills 4 things, and 4 things when develop practice, they fulfill 7 things, and 7 things which developed, cultivated, fulfill 2 things? Then the Buddha said, yes, Ananda, there is one thing. There is one thing, one single thing, that when you practice, develop, cultivated, it fulfills 4 things. When practice develop these 4 things, they fulfill 7 things. When practice develops 7 things, they fulfill 2 things. So he asked, what is that one thing, Bhante? Buddha said, Anapanasati, the concentration of Anapanasati, that is the one thing. See the importance of it? When you practice one thing, it develops 4 things, 4 satipatthana. Then they develop 7 things, 7 bojjhanga, 7 factors of enlightenment. They fulfill 2 more things, knowledge, right knowledge and liberation. Another occasion, Venerable Mahakappina. Kappina was a king. He heard that the Buddha was born and Buddha is teaching Dhamma in distant place, distant city. After hearing this, he thought that now is the time to give up everything and practice. He abdicated his kingdom, throne. He went to see the Buddha, far place, a distant place. He went together with some of his ministers, and he eventually came to the Buddha and he got his ordination and practiced. One day while he was practicing, he was next to the Buddha practicing, sitting cross-legged, practicing meditation. And Buddha said, monks, have you ever seen this monk? Have you ever seen his body any shake, trembling any time? Have you ever seen? The monk said, no, Bhante, we have never seen, whether it is public or private. His body is always straight body. The Buddha said, why? It is because of practicing anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. Another occasion. The Buddha was living in a place called Ichanangala. Buddha addressed the monks and said, monks, now I am going to take my seclusion. From time to time the Buddha takes seclusion for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, like that. That is what we do. Because Buddha taught us how we do this. Here at Bhavana we do our own seclusions during the first 2 months of the year, from January 1st to March 1st. We take turns monthly. We practice completely. We practice 1 month. No talk, nothing. That is how we do. That is what is called seclusion. During that time, nobody is going to disturb him. So the Buddha said, monks, now I am going to take my seclusion. Nobody is going to come to see me except the person who brings my dana. So Buddha went to his seclusion, and after his seclusion, Buddha said, monks, sometimes the others, contemplatives, other ascetics from other sects, they might ask you, what is the way, what is the thing that the Buddha is practicing while he is in seclusion? They might ask you. Because those days there were many different sects, many different cults, religions. They always eager to criticize the Buddha and his disciples. So whenever they asked, Buddha said, whenever they ask, tell them that the Tathagata means Buddha, Tathagata is practicing anapanasati. Buddha said, when I go to my seclusion, I observe breath. I mindfully observe breathing in, mindfully observe breathing out. Then I understand breathing in lone, breathing out lone. Breathing in whole breath body, breathing out whole breath body. Calming breath body in, calming breath body out. Like that I practice. So the Buddha said, Buddha practiced anapanasati. There the Buddha said, Buddha gave some special terms for anapanasati. 3 terms. Buddha said, monks, this is what is called Arya Vihara. Arya Vihara means noble dwelling, noble living. So if whoever is practicing anapanasati, he is living a noble life, noble living. Arya Vihara, the Pali term is Arya Vihara. And the second term given is Brahma Vihara. If one is practicing mindfulness of breathing, he is living a divine life, divine living. Then third, he said, this is called Tathagata Vihara. Tathagata Vihara means, the Tathagata means Buddha. This is the Buddha's living. So who he practices anapanasati is living like a Buddha. So that is how Buddha taught us the importance of practice anapanasati. The Buddha further said, this anapanasati is the meditation for trainees, and this is the meditation for adept, those who have completed their training. That means there are 2 categories. There are 2 types of persons in the sasana. They are, in Pali, Sekha and Asekha. Sekha means trainees, those who are practicing, training, who are undergoing the training. Trainees are those who are in the path as stream enterers, once returners, and non-returners. They are called trainees. Sekha, they are undergoing the training. So the Buddha said their meditation is this, Anapanasati. And then Buddha said, those who have completed training, they are the Arahant. Asekha, the term is Asekha. They themselves practice Anapanasati. So you see, now the Buddha is practicing Anapanasati. Arahants, they all are practicing Anapanasati. The Anagami, the non-returners, practice Anapanasati. Once returners, they practice Anapanasati. The stream enterers practice Anapanasati. So why not us? We all can practice Anapanasati. So Anapanasati is the meditation to practice. But there is a caution, warning for some category. Though he said everybody's practice, though it is everybody's practice, Buddha said, monks, I do not say that there is Anapanasati for the forgetful person. Muttasati. Muttasati means the forgetful persons. Those who have little wit. For them, the Buddha said, it doesn't work. Anapanasati, quite difficult. But we all have the ability to practice Anapanasati. Therefore, we have to understand the significance and practice Anapanasati. So, let's understand how the Buddha has taught us Anapanasati, the 16 steps. In order to explain these 16 steps, the Buddha gave a particular discourse, special discourse named Anapanasati Sutta. This is Sutta number 118 in the Majjhima Nikaya, Middle Length Sayings. This sutta was delivered addressing the monks when the Buddha was living in the place, in the monastery called Migara Matu's monastery. Migara Matu, that is also important to understand. Migara Mata was the name to Visakha. Visakha was the chief benefactress of the Buddha. She, at the age of 7, she became a stream enterer at the age of 7. When it was time for her to get her married, she was married to a person named Dhananjaya. So Migara was the father-in-law of Visakha. But Migara Mata, how this father-in-law became like son. Mata means mother. So the father-in-law started to address her like mother, not like daughter-in-law. Because Migara, he did not know how to practice meditation, how to practice generosity. Visakha, she taught him how to practice generosity. That is why he started to address her like Mata, like mother. Therefore, Visakha was called Migara's mother. So she built this particular monastery named Migar Mata's monastery. One day the Buddha was living in that monastery. It was on the full moon night. There were monks, all prominent, eminent monks were there by that time, on that day. Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Mahamoggallana, Mahakassapa, Mahakottita, Mahakachana, Venerable Ananda, Revata, all these monks were there on that day. That particular night, the full moon night, the monks were there in that temple. So, when it was at night, the Buddha was outside of the building, that's open air. Buddha was sitting there, crowded with the other monks, some other monks. The Buddha saw different groups of monks. Buddha saw some senior monks were teaching to the junior monks. One senior monk is teaching to a group of 10. Another monk teaching to a group of 20. Another group of 30. Another group of 40, like that. Different groups. Seeing this, the Buddha said, monks, I am content. I am content to see this. This assembly of monks is free from prattle, free from chatter, idle chatter. This is the essence, this is the heartwood core of the sasana. I am content. This monks, this assembly of monks is worthy to receive others' veneration, worthy to receive gift. This is the field of merit for the world. Like that, the Buddha addressed the monks, and Buddha said, in this Sangha, in this assembly, there are monks, those who have completely cut off 10 fetters and have attained enlightenment, arahantship. There are monks here in this assembly, those who have cut off first 5 fetters and attained the state of non-returner, anagami. Here in this assembly there are some monks, they have cut off first 3 fetters and attenuated the next 2 and become those who have become once returners. And here in this assembly there are monks, those who have cut off first 3 fetters and have attained the state of stream entry. Then further said, there are monks here in this assembly, those who are practicing 4 foundations of mindfulness. And there are some monks practicing, here there are some monks practicing 4 right efforts. There are some monks practicing 4 roads to power. There are some monks here, they practice 5 faculties. And some monks practicing 5 powers, 5 mental powers. And there are some monks, they are practicing 7 factors of enlightenment. There are some monks practicing developing the Noble Eightfold Path. And also there are some monks, they are practicing perception of impermanence. Some monks, they are practicing repulsiveness of body. And finally Buddha said, there are some monks here, they practice mindfulness of breathing. So in this manner, Buddha pointed out different 18 subjects which the monks, different categories, different types of monks, they were practicing in these different subjects. So then the Buddha said, monks, Anapana Sati, mindfulness of breathing, when practiced and developed, it is of great fruit and great benefit. When practiced mindfulness of breathing, it fulfills 4 foundations of mindfulness. When practiced mindfulness, 4 foundations of mindfulness, they fulfill 7 factors of enlightenment. When practiced and developed 7 factors of enlightenment, they fulfill true knowledge and liberation. With that sort of preamble, the Buddha explained how to practice mindfulness of breathing, where the Buddha gave these 16 steps. Now let's see the 16 steps. The first 4, already you know the first 4. First 4 are the same that we learned yesterday. Starting with mindfulness of breathing, mindfully breathing in, mindfully breathing out. That's the first thing. Then Diga is long breath, short breath. Then whole breath body, and then calm in the breath body. Those are the 4 steps. First 4 steps. Now when you practice these 4 steps, then you can feel, you can understand, you can experience rapture. That is the 5th factor, 5th steps. You can understand, experience rapture, piti. The Buddha said, Piti pati sangvedi assasissameti sikkati. Piti pati sangvedi passasissameti sikkati. Piti is rapture. You can experience rapture. Then, next one, 6th. Sukha pati sangvedi. Sukha is happiness. Then you feel happiness. You experience happiness. Sukha pati sangvedi assasissameti sikkati. Passasissameti sikkati. Then the next one, 7th one, chitta sankara pati sangvedi. Chitta pati sankara means mental formations. You can understand mental formation. Mental formations mean mental thoughts. You have thoughts. You are calm. You have thoughts. You know that you have thoughts. Different thoughts. Then the 8th one is calm in mental formations. Passang bhayang chitta sankarang. Calm in mind. Calm in mental formations. Then come to the 9th one. Chitta patisangvedi. Then you can understand chitta, mind. You experience mind as mind. Chitta patisangvedi. When you understand your mind as it is, you can understand, experience abhippamodayam. Buddha said abhippamodayam is gladdening your mind. Abhippamodayam chitta, gladdening your mind. Then samadahang chittam. Samadahang chittam means concentration, your mind. Then the 12th is liberating mind. Vimochang chittang, liberating your mind. Liberating from what? This is not liberation, complete liberation. This is liberation of 5 hindrances. Completely liberated. Thereafter, no hindrances. Complete liberation from hindrances. Then 13th is experience in impermanence. You can understand impermanence as impermanence. Now all the way you are observing your breath. All this, while you are experiencing this, you are observing your breath. Then 14 is fading away. Fading away. 15th is cessation. Cessation. The 16th is relinquishment. Those are the 16 different steps. So the Buddha said, when you practice these 16, when you experience these 16 steps of Anapanasati, you are simultaneously, you are practicing the 4 establishments of mindfulness. You are doing the 4, you are doing established mindfulness of breathing. 16 steps of mindfulness of breathing. While you are doing that, you are practicing, you are developing 4 establishments of mindfulness. That means they are connected, well connected. So here when you say 16 steps, these are called tetrads. 4 tetrads, there are 4 tetrads, 4 sets of 4. When you practice the first 4 means first establishment of mindfulness, which is called Kayanupassana, mindfulness of body. Then when you go to the second tetrad, you are observing, you are practicing, then you are practicing, at the same time you are practicing Vedananupassana, mindfulness of feelings. When you practice, develop the third tetrads, you are observing, you are practicing, developing Chittanupassana, mindfulness of mind. Then when you practice the last tetrad, you are practicing, developing the fourth establishment of mindfulness, which is Dhammanupassana. Mindfulness of Dhamma, mental objects. So in such a way, this mindfulness of breathing and 4 foundations are very well connected. You are practicing, developing these together. And then the Buddha pointed out, when you practice these 16 steps, right after the first tetrad, right after first tetrad, you can practice, develop 7 factors of enlightenment, and that is the way to the attainment of enlightenment. If you develop 7 factors of enlightenment after the first tetrad, then you can attain enlightenment. Suppose you practice further, going to the next tetrad, where again you can develop 7 factors. If you develop 7 factors of enlightenment there, it is another way. It is the way to attain enlightenment. Like that, after every tetrad, we can develop 7 factors of enlightenment and come to realization of 4 noble truths and come to develop the path. So, in such a way, the Buddha explained these 16 steps of breath. So now let's understand fetters, the second part of the topic. Fetters, how the purpose I said our topic is how mindfulness of breathing leads to the destruction of fetters. What are the fetters? You know, there are 10 fetters through which we are bound to samsara. Fetters, once the Buddha said in the Dhammapada, Buddha said, Appamada rato bhikkhu pamade bhayadassiva Sangyojanang anu tulang dahang aggiva gacchati. Appamada rato bhikkhu, the bhikkhu, the practitioner, who delights in mindfulness and who knows fear of unmindfulness, he burns whatever fetter, whether small or big. He burns all these fetters like fire that burns whatever confronted. Fetters. So the fetters, there are 10 fetters. These are called sangyojana. These are defilements. Sangyojana. What are the 10 fetters? First, sakkaya ditti. Sakkaya ditti means personality belief. Number 2, vichikicca. Vichikicca means doubt. Silabbata paramasa. That is rites and rituals. Rituals. Silabbata paramasa. Then kama raga, passion. Rupara, kama raga, patigha. Patigha is aversion. So these 5 are called lower fetters. Then we have rupa raga, clinging to material world. Arupa raga, clinging to immaterial world. Mana, conceit. Uddacca, restlessness. The last, avijja, ignorance. Those are the 10 fetters. Of the 10, first 5 are called lower fetters, next 5 are called higher fetters. So the one who, the first fetter is called personality belief. Personality belief, sakkaya ditti. We all have this belief. We all grasp this as mine, as self. When we grasp in 20 ways. We think referring to self. Referring to self, we compare self with our 5 aggregates. Take the form aggregate. We think this form is myself. Self is my form. That is how we think. Form is myself, or self is my form. Or we think self is in my form, or my form is in self. 4 ways. Form is myself, self is my form. Form is in myself, self is in my form. 4 ways referring to form. Then feelings, perception, volitional formation and consciousness. 5. All the 5. We grasp these 5 aggregates as self. That is what is called personality belief. We personalize. I, my, mine, these concepts arise because of personality belief. That is the first fetter, which is the most difficult fetter to be cut off. Once you cut off this, then the second fetter is doubt. We doubt, as I said this afternoon, we doubt about past, future or the present. Referring to past, we doubt 5 ways. Referring to present, future, we doubt 5 ways. and referring to the present, we doubt 6 ways. Altogether 16 ways of doubts. Because of Ayoniso Manasikara. Ayoniso Manasikara means unwise attention. Because of unwise attention, we doubt things. So we have to cut off this one by one. So then the third one, rites and rituals. First 3, again, personality belief, doubts, and clinging to rules and rituals. These are the first 3 to be cut off. Once you cut off these 3, you become a streamer. So to cut off this, what is necessary is practicing mindfulness of breathing and understand the 3 characteristics of existence. What are the 3 characteristics? Impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and soullessness. If you see these 3 characteristics, then only you can see things as they are. That is what happened to all monks. You know, the first monk, Venerable Kondanya, when he listened to the first sermon, Kondanya realized this. That realization is called Dhamma Chakku. That is the vision. That is the eye, Dhamma eye. He got the Dhamma eye. That Dhamma eye is Jankinchi Samude Dhammang Sabbantang Nirodha Dhammang. Whatever is in the nature of arising, it is in the nature of perishing. That is the understanding, that is the Dhamma. That is the vision that he gained. That vision is called stream entry. So if you can cut off the first 3 fetters, you can attain the stream as a stream winner, stream enterer. Then the next 2, when you practice, develop further. Well, when you enter the path, you can cut off your samsaric journey. Then thereafter you are born in samsara only maximum 7 times. Now the second 2, passion and aversion. If you can attenuate these 2, first cut off the first 3 and then attenuate the next 2, then you can become one Sritana. And if you can cut off the first 5 fetters, all these 5 fetters, you are then called non-Ritana because you never come here. There are different realms, 5 different realms. They are called pure abodes. You are born there. Once you are born there, you can finish your samsaric journey over there. You never want to come back. That is why it is called never returners. Anagami. And finally, if you can cut off all the 10, you can attain enlightenment. Now, the last one is called avijja, ignorance. Avijja. When avijja is connected, avijja is combined with taints. Taints. They are interrelatedly, interdependently existing. Like this, interdependently, like yang and yin. These taints are to be understood. And once you cut off your ignorance, you can become taintless, taint-free. Taintless is asavakkaya. You completely cut off, completely destroy all fetters in such a way. So, friends, for this purpose, the Buddha said, practice mindfulness of breathing. So when we practice mindfulness of breathing, one day we can cut off all fetters, 10 fetters, and attain enlightenment. This is the purpose of practicing meditation. This is the purpose of Dhamma. Let's all understand this Dhamma. Let's all practice with diligence so that one day we all can cut off all fetters and attain Nibbana, the ultimate bliss. May we all attain ultimate bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.